Good morning, children. Nice to see you back again. As we are going to start the second term, I would just like to tell you the syllabus. For the second term, we'll be having chapter 6, 7, and 8. We're going to have chapter 6, chapter 7, and chapter 8. Okay, this is what we're going to have for the second term. Now, because you are in grade 8, you know next year you have to choose your subjects, either commerce or science. So the final exam you have this year, it will have some portion of first term syllabus also. Okay, you will not have only these 3 chapters for your second term. You will get some chapters of this also, of the first term also. Okay, so you will have at least 5 to 6 chapters for your final term. So concentrate well on these chapters so that you can do well. Okay, and hope you all know this also, that only if you score good marks in your 8th standard final exams, all these exams, you will be able to get sciences. Okay, if you want science, you should have good mark in physics, otherwise you won't be given sciences. So please take it seriously. In the first term, many of you had not done very well. Your results are quite bad, but I hope that you will understand the seriousness and start studying seriously from this term. Okay, so we'll start with chapter 6, heat transfer. Heat transfer. Okay, so when you think of the word heat, what comes to your mind? When you think of the word heat, what comes to your mind? So a hot body, maybe, no? Or it's very hot. The temperature is very hot today, right? Things like that. So now heat definition goes like this. It is a form of energy. So far we saw light. Light is a form of energy. Then we'll be having heat. Then sound is a form of energy, sound energy. Then electrical energy. So these are all various forms of energy. Okay, now if you remember, we studied in 4th chapter, energy is the capacity to do work. Now each one has a different capacity. Now light energy, what kind of work it will do? It gives us a sensation of vision. Sound energy, what does it do? It gives us a sensation of hearing. Heat energy, what does it do? It gives us a sensation of hotness or coldness. It helps us to feel whether a body is hot or cold. Sensation of hotness or coldness. Hope you got the idea, children. So heat is a form of energy that causes a sensation. You can feel a body whether it is hot or cold by touching it. Okay, and that is due to the heat energy that it possesses. Okay, so that is the definition of heat energy. Okay, now another term that comes very much together with heat is temperature. Temperature. Okay, so this is also a term that we use very often. What is today's temperature? Okay, or how are you doing today? Okay, is it hot or cold? All that is dependent on temperature. Okay, so maybe in normal way it looks the same. Heat, temperature, everything is the same. No, according to physics they are different. Heat is different, temperature is different. Heat is a form of energy that causes sensation of hotness or coldness, whereas temperature measures the degree of hotness or coldness. Temperature measures the degree of hotness or coldness. So we all have heard about thermometer. What does a thermometer do? It measures the temperature of a body. So if you have fever, you go to the doctor, he will first check your temperature using a thermometer. Now these days, you would have seen this thermal detectors. In every place they'll have something to rod like thing which they'll keep on in front of the forehead, and if you have a temperature it will show. So what do they basically do? So thermometer is an instrument that measures the temperature of a body. Now what does it tell? It will tell you whether the body is hot or cold. Now we know that normal body temperature has to be 98.4. So if the temperature is above that, so when you measure with a thermometer and the temperature of a body is showing 101 Fahrenheit, sorry, it's not Celsius, Fahrenheit, then your body is having a higher temperature. If it is below this, then it's at lower temperature. So this temperature only tells you how much hot or cold a body is. How hot or cold a body is. But when I say heat, you cannot tell that. It's just a sensation. Heat is just a sensation. Whether you feel hot or cold, that is heat. That is heat. Whereas temperature, it tells you exactly how hot the body is. Okay. So you can just say, today it's very hot. Today it's very hot. Okay. So that might just give you an idea. But if I say, today the temperature was 45 degrees Celsius. Oh, then you know, okay, it's been really hot. Okay, so this will give you the exact measurement or exact value, whereas this just gives you the sensation. Hope you are got an idea about heat and temperature, children. So in physics, these both are different. They're not the same. Okay, so let's now go to the book. The first paragraph talks about it. Define heat. So heat is a form of energy which gives sensation of warmth or cold. Okay, hotness or coldness, you can say warmth or cold, or also is okay. Okay, then define temperature. It is the measure of degree of hotness or coldness of an object. Define temperature. Okay, measure of, the word measure is very important. This is form of energy. Heat is a form of energy, whereas temperature is a measure of. Okay, so these two terms are very important. Now come to the next topic, effects of heating. Heat has three main effects. If you heat any body, three things can happen. Okay, what are they? First thing, heat causes change in temperature of object. Whenever you heat anything, the temperature of a body will change. Temperature will increase. Yeah. Then heat can cause change in state of an object. Take for example ice. You keep heating ice, what it will become? It will become water. So what is happening here? Change of state. Solid has changed to liquid. The third possible change is heat may change the size of an object. Heat may also change the size of an object. So you know that solid expands on heating. Okay, so you take a metal and you keep heating it, its length might increase. So that is increase in size due to heating. Okay, even you pour in winter season ghee, you pour in ghee will be solid in winter season. Talking about the AC ghee, it will solidify. Okay, because it's very cold. Now when I put it in kadai and I keep it in the stove, when it starts melting, you can see its volume might increase. Okay, so heat can lead to increase in change in size of the object. Whenever an object is heated, it expands. On cooling an object, it contracts. Okay, now again we are going to see the difference between boiling and evaporation. If you remember, we had this in first chapter, boiling and evaporation. Okay, so you know change of state. Whenever matter can be in three states: solid, liquid and gas. Okay, so solid can be changed to liquid, liquid can change to gas, gas can change to liquid, liquid can change to, okay, if you remember, solid can change directly to gas, gas back to solid. So solid to liquid, melting, liquid to gas, liquid to gas is vaporization. Okay, so liquid to gas, there are two possibilities. Generally, liquid to gas, the change of state from liquid to gas is called vaporization. Vaporization. Now, vaporization, there are two possible types of vaporization. One is called boiling, the other one is evaporation. Evaporation. So, boiling means if you keep heating, okay, suppose I have taken water in a vessel and I am heating continuously. I'm heating it continuously. So what happens after some time? The water starts boiling. You can see bubbles coming up and the water literally will start boiling and the molecules will start moving very faster, and some can even become steam and go off. Okay, you cover it with a lid. You cover this with the lid when the water is boiling. After some time you take the lid out, you will see water droplets all around it. What happened? The steam, the water has become steam and it has deposited here, and when you take it out, it has condensed back to liquid, and that's why you see so much of water particles there. So that is boiling. Now, evaporation is something that takes place in nature. Okay, a simple example, you leave some water in glass. Okay, you take a steel glass or something, little bit water is there and you just left in one corner of your room. Okay, you left it in one corner of your room. After 3 days you come and see, you will not see any water. All the water would have got evaporated. All the water would have got evaporated. It would have become water vapor and it would have gone into the atmosphere, air. Okay, so water, it will no more stay as water particles. So that is called evaporation. Okay, so evaporation is a natural phenomena. It happens in nature and you don't have to give any external heating for this. You have to heat. You have to heat, then only boiling will take place. Externally we have to heat. For this you don't have to heat. It takes the heat from the surrounding. It takes the surrounding heat and quickly evaporates. So if you leave this glass with little water on a summer day in the month of May or something, you leave it, maybe by evening, you leave it in the morning, by evening the water would have got evaporated because temperature will be very high and atmosphere is very dry. But in rainy season, now these kind of seasons, when you leave it, it may take some time because already the atmosphere has lot of moisture. So evaporation might take place little slow. Okay, so this is a little bit idea about boiling and evaporation. So we need to know the definition. So boiling definition, define boiling. If I ask, you'll write this. Change of state of a substance from liquid state to gaseous state is known as boiling process. And the particular temperature at which this change of state takes place is called boiling point. Then you have evaporation. Again, evaporation definition, it is a process of change of liquid into vapors. Now see the comparison. Here also it is change of state of substance from liquid state to gaseous state. Okay, so here also it is the same way. The first part is the same. Change of liquid into its vapors at all temperature. At all temperature from the surface of liquid. Okay, I would want you to add this one. The change of state of a substance from liquid state to gaseous state at a particular temperature. At a particular temperature. Okay, this we say at all temperatures, that is at a particular temperature. Then difference between evaporation and boiling, I want you to study from page 21. Okay, if you remember, we had in the first chapter. So difference between, you can study from here. These 4 points you can study. Okay. Also, we have explanation of evaporation and boiling. How does it happen? How does boiling happen, and how does, so the question can be, if they ask you explain evaporation process, you will write this paragraph. Explain boiling process, you will write this paragraph. Okay, so what will happen in evaporation? Let's do boiling first. So when I heat, okay, using a stove or something, I heat it, so I give energy, so the molecules will start moving faster, they start vibrating faster. Now as they move, some of them will have so much energy that they will go to the surface and they will escape as gases. Okay, so some molecules which have more energy reach the surface and then they quickly escape into the atmosphere as gas, and that's how boiling happens. So see the book, you can mark the points. In boiling process, at boiling point of a liquid, all liquid molecules possess sufficient kinetic energy so as to overcome intermolecular force due to neighboring molecules. As a result, all the molecules of a liquid start leaving the liquid and vaporize at a constant temperature. Okay, so whichever has more energy will go first, then the next few molecules, then the next few molecules. So little by little, this liquid will become vapor. Whereas in evaporation, what will happen? It takes the temperature of the surrounding. That's the first thing. In evaporation, there are some liquid molecules near the surface of liquid which have gained sufficient kinetic energy during collision with other liquid molecules. These can overcome the attractive force of other molecules and they escape the liquid surface. Now, so there is very little liquid. There are molecules here moving around. So they keep taking the heat from the surrounding. Now, some of the molecules are very hyper. They are very active. Okay, what they do, they take the energy from the surrounding and they get more energy and they quickly escape out. Okay, so like this it will keep happening, little by little, little by little, little by little, it will become steam and finally the whole thing will evaporate. Okay, so explain boiling and explain evaporation. If they ask, you have to write these 2 paragraphs. And then if you remember, we had one thing, evaporation leads to cooling. Evaporation leads to cooling. Okay, when you have fever, they keep this putty in your forehead. What they do, cold water, with cold water they keep that putty. So what they do, evaporation happens there. It takes the heat from your body. So the reason is, so it can be a reasoning question. Give reason why evaporation leads to cooling. The answer will be, in evaporation process, molecules absorb heat from their surrounding molecules so that they may vaporize. Because they take the heat from the surrounding becomes cold. Is it clear? So this is all about the first part of this chapter. We'll start thermal expansion in the next class. So I'll be sending some questions along with this video. So you have to answer those questions and send it to me by tonight. Okay, thank you children.